this, and I'm starting to think about having to eat my neighbor. I'm going to haul him up by a chain. I will eat your ass. I'll do it. You think I like sizing up my neighbor? Gonna chop his ass up. My children are going hungry. I will eat your ass. I'll eat your ass. I'm literally looking at my neighbors now and going, I will eat your ass. I will eat your ass. I'll eat your ass. My superpower is being honest, and I will eat your ass. I will eat your ass. I'll eat your ass. That's why I want the globalists to know. I will eat your ass. I will eat your ass. I'll eat your ass. I've extrapolated this out, and I will eat your ass.
And strike and strike and strike until you have victory. For every enemy that is aligned against you, let there be that we would strike the ground, for you will give us victory. I hear a sound of abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. The Lord says it is done. The Lord says it is done. I hear a sound of abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. Angels are being released right now. Angels are being dispatched right now. They're coming here. They're coming here from Africa, from South America. I hear a sound of abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. The Lord says it is done. The Lord says it is done. I hear a sound of abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. Angels are being released right now. Angels are being dispatched right now. They're coming here. They're coming here from Africa, from South America. I hear a sound of abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. The Lord says it is done. The Lord says it is done. I hear a sound of abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. Angels are being released right now. Angels are being dispatched right now.
There's a man named Destiny, streaming games so endlessly. Trump derangement all the way, every hour, every day. Wife's out with other men, he's in chat again and again. Online life is such a mess, but he says it's for the best. He's a cook and he loves it. In the game though he don't fit. Massive loser in the screen, but his life ain't what it seems. Typing fury in the chat, comment wars like a diplomat. Keyboard warrior all night long, but his wife's got her own song. Oh Destiny, can't you see? Online life's your enemy, but you love it, can't deny. Living life streaming a lie. He's a cook and he loves it. In the game though he don't fit. Massive loser in the screen, but his life ain't what it seems.
Welcome everybody back to the channel. Somebody had sent that song to me, and I was like, I've got to start including it in the show. If I have to use a bathroom break, I'm going to play that song. It's perfect, right? So like minute and a half long, and it's everything you need to know about the guy. Anyways, I hope everyone's doing great today. I'm enjoying the daytime streams. It's because what else would I be doing at 3 o'clock during the middle of the day? Let's see, though, because we do have a new member. Soultail, thank you for becoming a member. Mr. T-Bird, good seeing you here. And Michael Brown, where are you? That's 5 a.m. Margot Gogo, good to see you, too. Give me 1 second, guys. It's just finishing up my lunch right before we started the stream. Actually, to be fair, I was watching a video about a subject that I'm interested in, but I want to look into it a little bit more before I really talk about it too much. But as soon as it ended, I looked at my clock and I was like, "Oh my god, it's it's 3 o'clock. I got to get started." Melbourne, Australia. Okay, wait. So I'm curious because that whole thing happened with Tenacious D. We just did the video on the channel about it, right? Is that like a big thing for like the Australian news, or do like you guys not give a shit about it over there? I'm genuinely curious. Give some Tim Tams to Michael. Well, I've got a few things about Destiny pulled up that I want to talk to you guys about because Destiny does this thing where he claims that it's okay to all like the violent rhetoric is totally okay because the Trump people started it first and January 6th and all this other stuff. And somebody went through and like clipped him wishing death on Republicans way before January 6th, like talking about how he wanted to see a politician get hung and sees like his eyes bulge out and everything. I've been saying this, right? I've been saying it consistently now. The only reason why everyone is so shocked about this is because Destiny was going around pretending that he was like, I don't even know how to say it, right? Like, because everyone knows he's arrogant, but he would pretend to kind of be like this moral person, right? A very moral person, very very consistent with his stands. That's what got him to all the trouble with the people on the left who went after him. But in reality, he's just as deranged as they are. It's just when they were causing damage to the party, he started to denounce them. He started to drift away from them. He knows how to play it for the camera. But now that they're losing, now that there's no chance of them winning in the election, Destiny doesn't need to give a shit anymore. He wants to lash out because he's pissy and he's angry. And it's not the first time he's done it. So I do want to go into that stuff. But every single day, we're getting more and more and more news about what's going on with this whole assassination thing, right? So we're now being told that the Secret Service was aware of the shooter for like 3 hours. He had left and come back with a ladder and his rifle, which he apparently carried for a mile on foot to the building. Like it sounds comical how this happens, right? His parents had already called the cops on the day of the rally because they were worried something was going to happen. And we're getting like the most absurd explanations for why there were these massive security gaps, including that the slope where the shooter was on was sloped, so she was afraid to have agents on the roof because they might slip and fall. And now people are posting images of Secret Service not just at the event on a sloped roof, a much steeper incline, but pictures of the agents on the White House, right? It's such an absurd thing to try and claim, but it's turned into this absolute shit show because you're the common thing for a lot of people do, and I've been saying this, is our minds are going to start questioning things. We saw people on the left are still on like full-blown conspiracy mode that the shooting was all staged by Trump, that his ear isn't actually injured, and in spite of the fact we actually like can see the bullets, the photos of the bullets, they're going down that like absurd route. And at the exact same time, you have people on the right who are looking at these massive security gaps, the fact that none of this seems to have followed any type of Secret Service protocol. And I'm like, what can we really say? You call the guy Hitler, he's an existential threat, you'll say you do anything to stop him, and then that happens. I mean, the most common thing for someone to think is that there may have been something that goes much further than incompetence and negligence. We don't know, though. We don't, and I don't think we'll be really given any answers. Again, Monday, the Secret Service director is going to have to testify, but she is currently refusing to step down, and so far has blamed it on the local PD for not securing the roof, which, according to her, she was afraid to have an agent on because it was very steep or something. It's just a massive shit show.
We have just learned that the Trump rally shooter, Thomas Crook's parents, were looking for him in the hours leading up to the shooting. We're now told they eventually called law enforcement to report that Crooks was missing, and they were worried. And they also were told, those parents are now being cooperative now with authorities, but they gave them the heads up that something's going on with our son. We are worried. We don't know the tech.
Now, and to be fair, right, we don't know everything that the parents have said. It's not, the parents have not like come out and given interviews or anything of that nature. We just know that they were concerned because their son went missing and they thought something was going to happen. So they had contacted the police. 3 hours before before anything had happened, Secret Service saw him at the event, scoping out roofs and using a rangefinder. Said nothing to anybody in terms of, hey, there's a potential security risk. They just said that they would keep their eyes on him. And there's something that's going around 4chan. I'm not going to pull up on screen just because it's absolutely 100% not verified. But I just want to address it. There's something on 4chan. Somebody is claiming to have been the sniper that took Crooks out, and saying like, oh, I had him in my sights for 3 minutes and they told me to stand down. And even if he started shooting, I was still told to stand down. And then when I finally shot him, they said that I violated orders and I got fired. I don't really believe that. I'll be honest with you. I don't really believe that is the same Secret Service sniper who's making that story on 4chan. I think that you need that with like a massive grain of salt. But we can see in the video, the sniper has the guy in his sights. He's aimed at that building. There's really no way around it, right? Like, this is what I mean. It's too many things have to happen for this to have just been some guy getting extremely lucky, right? And when I say extremely lucky, I mean like extremely lucky because somebody intentionally wanted Trump to get shot. I don't know. It's absurd. But again, I don't think there's any shame in asking these questions, right? And there shouldn't be, because this is not something that should ever have happened. And the fact that it did, you get what I'm saying. But also, if people on the left are going to have these like absurd conspiracies that the shooting was staged, that Trump killed his own supporters, yada, 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 why the fuck can't we question these same people who called him Hitler and said that they'd do anything to stop him? Like, why can't we ask questions about them? It's nuts. It's crazy to me. But yeah, no, these are the stories that have been coming out. And I want to show you another image of the roof just because this is why it's becoming kind of crazy. So this was Elon Musk posting it, right? Much later in day, only cops here. SWAT ladder, shooter ladder, right? Because the shooter apparently, I guess he walked up this ladder and didn't use this other open ladder, which was which SWAT team had set up, even though they had no intention of being on the roof. I don't fucking get it, man. But we can also see the roof and see that there was it's slope, but like, come on, come on. There's another story now. Ballistics reports, or at least the ones that people are posting online, combined with other witness testimony from that day, says that there was indeed a second shooter. There was a second shooter, according to these people at the event, who was on the water tower. And there is an actual image from the time that the shooting takes place, and I can't show the video only because I will actually, maybe I can because I don't think it's graphic. Let's see. I'll keep it small though. Okay, so ballistic evidence of a second shooter, right?
Something that said, take a look what happened.
Okay, you hear the gunshot go off. A shot was fired on that railing, and
something that said, take a look what happened.
And people are saying that the way that was shot, it doesn't line up with where Crooks was shooting from, nor does it line up with where Crooks was shooting either, because it's way fucking off from where Trump is, right? And you actually see somebody else. I just be very careful, okay? This guy goes down because of that same shot that's going off. It's coming in from a completely different angle from where Crooks was. And that's the part that's like getting people like pissed off and want to know what the hell happened, right? Let me just go back a little bit. Only because, again, I want to be careful when I show these videos. Do we have two terrible shots? Well, the FBI is claiming that they know that he acted alone, but they said that he was acting alone before they had access to his phone and were able to even verify anything. So it really does appear that there may have indeed been a second shooter there. So I don't know. I have no confidence and no faith in the FBI to actually run this investigation because, well, what is it? They're still investigating the person that planted pipe bombs around Congress like 4 years ago, and we have been given no news and no information about who was doing that. And we never will because the FBI doesn't give a shit. Like, fuck.
Woman in the water tower here. Now, when I called my husband at home who's watching TV, he said, I thought Trump hurt his ear when he went to the ground. But he said, no, on TV they showed before Trump hit the ground, the ear was bleeding. So that sharpshooter went across, Trump turned his head, his ear must have been nipped, and it killed somebody in the stands over to the left.
Could you see anyone injured besides the blood on the former president?
All I saw was the gentleman from Beaver County who spoke earlier in the day. He was running for the State House Representative, Elmore. I know his name. He had a white shirt on, and I saw him come from that left stands where the people were mostly shot. I think there were several.
Have you heard of the Cody Co situation? I haven't. You want to just like briefly chat and let me know what it's about? If it's interesting, we can talk about it. But yeah, there were other people that were claiming that there was somebody on the water tower, right? And we don't know anything beyond that, right? We just know that other witnesses had claimed that there was somebody on the water tower. We know that there were shots that were fired that don't appear to be coming from the same direction that Crooks was shooting from. So it's this big unexplained hole, and nobody has an answer to it. And at the exact same time, I would look at it and go, okay, so this is why the Secret Service director should turn in the resignation, but she's refusing. Like, she wants her job. She's not gonna back down from it. And you only have two ways of ascertaining what happened here. And given her own statements to try to justify the complete catastrophic failure, she seems to want to push the blame onto everybody else. It's either such gross, massive incompetence to the point where you would have to believe that a 5-year-old was the one that was planning out the security that day, or it was intentional. There's no other way of looking at it. The fact that this woman thinks that she's going to keep her job, I believe that she thinks that she's entitled to keep her job because we've seen the Biden administration does not hold people accountable for fucking up. If anything, their fuck up seems to be intentionally in favor of Biden. Fuck. Okay, anyways. let's talk about the Destiny thing. And I've got to pull this up only because I'd never seen this. And actually, real quick, let me talk to you guys about the kick ban. So I don't know if there was anything that Destiny had actually said while he was on a live stream on Kick. I personally don't know. I think it was related to statements that he has been making over the past few days, including going on Piers Morgan, refusing to condemn the shooting, losing his mind, as Piers calls him, in like fucking inhuman and everything, right? Have you seen how all of commentary YouTube came to defend Destiny? Now people like Akban are jumping in. I don't give a shit. Wait, and let me be clear why I don't give a shit. I don't care that he got demonetized on X because Destiny doesn't give a shit when people on the right get demonetized. You can speak, but nobody has to pay you to speak. And that's more than fair. Okay. That's more than fair. So when he got demonetized on X for like, dude, like you guys can go and find the like those images where they compiled all of his tweets together. Yeah, man, that's that was really dumb. Okay. So he gets demonetized, and I can't say anything or feel bad about it because, well, he's encouraged the demonetization of others on X. He bitched about it and he cried about it, but I'm supposed to care why. You don't believe in my values of letting people speak. And if people want to pay you to speak, then let them pay you to speak. I personally don't care. You do though. So why should I why run to me and say I'm being morally inconsistent if I don't jump to your aid? Like, fuck off. If other people want to report you and flag you and everything, okay, fine. You're okay with that same behavior. Why? I don't care. I personally don't care. I have one principle that I believe in above literally everything else. And I'm not kidding. It's above everything else that I believe in. You have to play by your own fucking rules. If this is what you want for others, then it should be applied to you more strictly than anyone else. So you can't get me to feel bad about him being demonetized. Now, being banned on Kick, I think that's personally, I do think being banned on Kick is wrong, only because Kick does not pretend. Sorry, how should I say this? Kick has not advertised itself the way YouTube and Twitch has, right? Twitch and YouTube, let me be very clear. If I was on Twitch or YouTube and I were to make a statement praising political violence, or somebody had made an attack on Joe Biden, and the first thing I do is fire up a live stream and start like saying certain things very similar to Desi, I know my channel will be banned. Like I know my channel will be banned. Kick pretends like it's all for free speech, right? Like I think Kick had no issues with like Fuentes being on there and everything, and some other individuals, but they banned other individuals who have like gotten out into the spotlight with some bad shit before. So it's not surprising. I do think it's more of a statement against Kick than against Destiny, right? Like, I think it's more of a statement against Kick than Destiny that they're banning him. I think it's a little childish, personally. And I don't want Destiny banned, right? Demonetized, yeah, because he encouraged that for other people. Banned, no, I want everyone to see what Destiny is saying, and I want them to see the backlash that he's getting. If you ban him, he just goes out into the darkness. And nobody can actually mock or belittle or make fun of him for these absurd, inhuman hot takes that he's making. Also, if we did ban him, it'd be kind of pointless to bring up shit like this, right? So this is an archive of Twitter, okay? And the reason why I'm bringing this up is I watched this the entire Piers Morgan debate that Destiny was on, and I do have the 5-minute version that's on Twitter. We're going to watch that together, right? But he seems to have this idea that Republicans and conservatives and Trump people, they're always getting away with everything that they want on social media, always getting away with whatever they want in terms of how mainstream media does their reporting. And I'm like, well, that's just absurd and stupid. Again, because I can just point out that before Elon Musk had X, that obviously was never the case. Now that he does have X, I can understand that you're able to say more things that Destiny doesn't like and not be punished for it. But Destiny's called for political violence, well, like way before any of this stuff had ever happened, right? Like way before the January 6th stuff had happened, he was calling to see a politician get hung on a fucking noose. So I'm like, and nobody banned his channel for it. Nobody punished him for saying that. So the idea that it's Republicans getting away with it, he was doing this years ago and nobody was saying shit. In fact, we got like countless examples of people who have been like actually praising violence and pushing really divisive rhetoric and never facing any type of consequence for it. And it's majority has been on the left. I do know there are people on the right who do say shit that they really should be held accountable for. Hey, like the Paul Pelosi hammer smash attack, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I said something about it too, because like let me be very clear. Some guy broke into the house of Nancy Pelosi, bashed her husband's head in with a hammer. He survived. He's fine. Now it was still a brutal attack, just to be very clear. But within hours of that reporting coming out, it was the Trump MAGA Republicans who had done it. And days later, we found out that the guy was like a nudist who had a nude wedding, or who was like a participant in a nude wedding in California. He sold weed hemp jewelry. And it's like, this is the guy that you're trying to tell us was like a MAGA Trumper. And people started like really making fun of that attack because it was so absurd, right? It's still wrong. Like, I'll admit that is still wrong. But again, nobody died, and it was not a political attack at a Nancy Pelosi rally. It really did look like it was a random home invasion that had gone wrong. And I'm not going to like jump into anything beyond that, but people were making fun of it and going like, it sounds like at one point there was a story that his attacker had also previously worked as a escort. So a lot of people were saying it sounds like this was a love affair gone wrong. Like, whatever you want to say about what people were saying, yeah, they were like making jokes. Destiny and these guys have not been making jokes. It's what they want. Like, you would have to convince everybody else that this was all comical and you don't really mean it. But then Destiny goes on Piers Morgan and says, I will absolutely never condemn the shooter. So, yeah, I mean, okay. So you can't claim it's a joke. You really do believe it. Like, other people online who want to claim that they were joking have more of a ground to do that than Destiny does, because he goes on Piers Morgan and quintuples down and says, no, I'm fucking serious. Oh, dude. Exactly. Let people see the piece of shit he is in real time. John, like the thing that I see about Destiny is just, he went on for like the past few years pretending to be more neutral and like pushing really far against like the more excesses of the left and everything. And there were people on the right who absolutely disagree with him, but were willing to listen to his side of that left-wing narrative, even if they don't like him, even if they don't agree with him. But like, I knew the stuff that he had said about Devin Nunes, the California Republican guy. Like, I knew about that from beforehand. So I was always going like, when is it going to happen, right? Like, when is he going to pop? When is he going to snap? When is he going to let the mask come off and go full on fucking deranged leftoid. And apparently, all it took was Donald Trump to take a take a bullet for the nasty little gremlin to come popping out. Now, since we're shitting on him, and I feel like this is incredibly unfair to do, but I'm a prick. I didn't think that this was real, but this, I guess, was back in the Mr. Girl days. Does anyone remember when Destiny was platforming an admitted pedophile? Sorry. I think Max Carson might actually disagree with that. Does anybody remember when Destiny was like happily platforming the guy that said that he jerked off to the little girls in the Cuties movie? And then when people were like condemning that, it was all funny. And then everybody else in the commentary community thought that it was a big fucking joke too. And what finally got Destiny to stop platforming Mr. Girl was not the, jerking off to children. It was Mr. Girl had stabbed Destiny in the back. That was the bridge too fucking far for Destiny. This is what I mean about being like really stupid and absurd, right? Just last year. This was last year. Maybe a little bit longer than a year ago, just to be fair. It may have been closer to 2 years ago. But I didn't have a problem with Destiny until he decided he was above his own standards. No, he's never. These were always his standards. He just pretended that they weren't. Because when everybody on the left was like going like insane, psychotic, deranged, and everything, like the BLM riots, the Kyle Rittenhouse, Destiny knew that they were wrong and knew that they were going to be getting massive egg on their face and knew to call it out because it's making his own side look bad. That's all it was about. If it didn't make his own side look bad, he would have never condemned any of it. But it doesn't matter anymore. They're going to lose no matter what. Everything that they've gained throughout Biden's administration is going to go away. There's no reason to keep up this facade anymore. That's all I'm saying, right? So Destiny banned off Twitch and Kick and demonetized on Twitter all in 1 week. Pretty much. And I defended Destiny getting banned on Twitch because it was ridiculous, right? But like the people call him like a white supremacist or whatever the fuck, right? That's wrong. I don't think he should be banned on Twitch. I don't think he should be banned on Kick. Even right now, I don't think he should be banned on Kick, right? But bro, like this is not the first time he's been like actively calling, like actively seems to be praising political violence or calling for it or things of that nature, right? But this is the thing that I look at and I go, why the fuck was anybody cool with Destiny over this shit, right? Max Carson, at what age did men start ogling you / flirting with you, right? Pull it for women. She goes 10. Were you hot at 10? Any pics? Check DMs. Jesus, I've never wanted to bend someone over the hood of their little tykes so bad. Bro. Bro. Come on. Like, seriously. Listen. I would take this a lot more seriously if I wasn't fully aware that Destiny's a cuck and would not fuck anybody, even if they offered. fuck, man, fuck. But yeah, I'm like my things with Destiny go well beyond the political stuff. It was like the platforming Mr. Girl was bad enough for me, right? Platforming the guy that wanted to jerk off to children, that was far enough for me. And I talked about this at the time when he got rid of Mr. Girl. It was because Mr. Girl had said something about Destiny that Destiny didn't like. That got him to stop platforming the guy. And actually, I gotta kind of like slam people in the commentary community. Which I know I used to do a lot more, right? But they all followed Destiny's lead on Mr. Girl. They were all cool with platforming Mr. Girl. They had no issues platforming. They all thought it was funny. They all thought it was great content. And when Destiny cut ties with Mr. Girl, all of a sudden the rest of them were like, oh, you know what? You know, this isn't cool anymore. I someone has said like I saw a comment about him getting banned and like the commentary community coming out to defend him. I think there are people in the commentary community that enjoy talking to Destiny, and I'm not going to say that he doesn't have a good perspective on certain things, right? But yeah, man, like not even the day after Trump gets shot, people are dead, you were like all in on the crazy leftoid crying and everything. And I understand his argument about like the January 6th stuff and talking about like the convictions and the fake electors and all this other stuff. The only thing I would say to that is the reason why people on the right don't give a shit when you say that I got them convicted, here are convictions, this is proof they're guilty, is I guess the most recent example would be like the New York trial of Donald Trump, where you had the judge's daughter outside raising funds off of the trial. The judge had donated money to Biden and Biden's super PACs, which at the very least you'd think just recuse yourself and let another judge oversee it. Even if he rules the exact same way, it's not going to make it look as inherently corrupt as it does. But when we see the extra legal measures that we're taking, we still have not been told what the actual felony was. It was left as a multiple choice for the jury, and we still don't know what Trump did. I'm like, I'm not a lawyer, okay? But I do respect our criminal justice system, and I respect it because you get a right to confront your accuser. You can't just be thrown into a prison because someone says you did something. But that's kind of what happened with the New York trial. They said that Trump had committed one of 3 felonies. How do you prepare a legal defense to say, I did not commit this felony, when the prosecution then say, okay, well, he didn't do that one, but there are 2 more that you get to pick from? To me, I mean, I'm looking at that and going, that is inherently corrupt. Destiny was laughing about it because he doesn't give a shit, right? Like he wanted to see Trump as a convict. So to then go ahead and say, well, I have these other convictions. Okay, I'm going to point to the New York trial and say, you guys don't give 2 shits about the law. You don't give 2 shits about the justice system. I can go all the way back to Hillary Clinton and the fucking her classified document scandal and how she's never faced any type of penalty for it. I can go and talk about the Biden thing, same thing, no penalty. And I can talk about how Trump and well, I guess that case has now been dismissed. But again, multiple other politicians have done this, big name politicians from the right and the left. But the only person who's ever been punished for it is Trump, right? When you see that, and you see that it was consistently only going one way, either you believe like Destiny does, where Donald Trump is Satan McHitler and he did all of these things. That's why he's the only politician who's ever been punished for it. Or, people whose heads aren't all the way up their own asses. We believe most politicians do break the law. They consistently get away with it, but you only punished one guy. It makes it look like you did it because you don't like that one guy, not that you actually care about the law or literally anything. We have let's ignore Trump. Let's talk about like the January 6th stuff, right? Because we're having convictions be overturned now, right? The QAnon shaman, right? I don't know if you guys remember this one. That was a crazy guy with like the bull horns and like the was waving around the American flag and everything on January 6th. He went to prison for trespassing. When the Republicans took over the House, started to release stuff from the January 6th committee, they showed a video of the cops literally guiding the guy around, guiding the guy around Congress. You can't tell me that you've got all of these convictions, but then I can also show you got convictions by hiding evidence. Like, come on. Like, that's the sort of thing where it's like throw the entire case out on everyone if you are going to lie and hide evidence. We have multiple examples of that happening. So you can go ahead and come to me and say, hey, I've got this criminal prosecution. That's great. That's cute. That's wonderful. Courts do make mistakes. I'm going to look at what they're actually going over. And like a lot of this shit seems like, no joke, trumped up charges, like bullshit fucking convictions. Inherent corruption. So my point of that whole thing is just, I understand kind of where Destiny comes from when he's complaining that, people have been convicted and nobody on the right cares. But, I watched that Piers Morgan interview where he starts crying about January 6th. And the minute the girl goes, well, the cops did usher people in, he starts screaming that she's a traitor. And I'm like, bitch, there is actual video of the cops doing that. Was it for literally everyone? Was everyone just peacefully protesting? Obviously not. But you're denying that there was anyone. It's like you're acting like every single person there was this violent insurrectionist and that they all should face like these heavy penalties. Well, if you're going to act like that, then I'm going to say, okay, well, it looks like the overwhelming majority were actually nonviolent. So if we're going to punish them all or free them all, we're going to go with freeing them all, because you do not punish people for crimes that they did not fucking commit. Unless you're Destiny, and then it's like another little feather in the fucking cap of the pro-democracy crowd. All right, so let's... it's like 5 minutes long. Okay, let's watch it, because everybody's been talking about this one.
But Destiny, let me explain to you.
Where conservatives can say anything.
No, I'm not a conservative.
They can have any conspiracy theory.
I'm not a conservative.
They can have any plot. They can do anything, and then liberals are supposed to sit here and be like, "Oh my God, it's so tragic."
No, Destiny.
Absolutely not.
Let me explain.
And again, Destiny pretends like Elon Musk has owned Twitter for the past, since its inception. Right? We all remember what it was like before Elon Musk got X. We all remember, especially if you're on the right, I guarantee that you probably have a list of accounts that have been banned, right? For the most innocuous of shit. To now go and act like everyone on the right can just do and say whatever they want, they've always been able to do that, is such a mass... Dude, Twitter suspended Trump's account the day that he told people to go home on January 6th, and said that that was a call for fucking violence on January 6th. Twitter suspended him. To then go and claim that Republicans do whatever they want when the fucking president was suspended on social media, not just on X, on Facebook, on I think Instagram too, right? All of these different social media sites purged Donald Trump and tried to purge his supporters also. X was only bought by Elon Musk less than 2 years ago. This guy lives in a fucking fantasy land now. Yeah, it's beyond disingenuous. I love this new lie that he's convinced himself of.
Absolutely.
Let me explain my position, because I'm not a conservative. I'm not on either side in your race, right? Here's what I think about what you did. You'd like to fire off, as you've done so far in this debate, about your fury at how disgusting Republicans are, how inhumane they are, how they never have any empathy, blah, 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 blah. And then you yourself actually are exactly the person that you're describing. You are inhuman. You are somebody who seems almost gleeful that a young firefighter with a family, with a wife and children, who he was protecting as he was shot dead, that he deserved what was coming to him because he went to a President Trump rally, a man who was president of the United States until recently for 4 years and maybe again. You sound almost gleeful, Destin, and I'm sorry. That makes you, frankly, despicable.
I don't think I'm gleeful about anything. I don't think anybody should die. I don't think anybody deserves to die. But you want to talk about gleeful? Look at the conservative response to Pelosi's husband when they broke in.
I can answer that.
Mainstream media figures
I can answer that.
I don't care.
I can answer that.
With all due respect, I don't care what your answer is.
Let me answer that.
The reality is,
he didn't care what his answer was, because to Destiny doesn't give a shit about Paul Pelosi. Destiny just wants to use it as a weapon against conservatives. And again, I'm going to be completely honest here and just say I have not watched Destiny's channel nonstop. So I don't know exactly what his coverage of the Paul Pelosi thing was, but if I had to guess, Destiny was probably one of the people who was claiming that it was because of Donald Trump's violent rhetoric, yada, 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 when in reality, he was a nudist that sold hemp jewelry, and he sounds more like a deranged leftoid, but I don't even think that matters. I don't even think it matters. I just remember the very first thing that happened before anybody knew anything, and it looked far more like a home invasion gone wrong, was the MAGA Republicans are responsible. And then you also want us to take it, like the very first day, I remember they wanted Trump and his supporters to apologize for their rhetoric immediately when we had no information about anything that had happened. Even then, I'll say this. It's still careless to say jokes about him getting hit with a hammer. But if you watch this entire thing from Piers Morgan, Destiny's response is, well, they made jokes about the Paul Pelosi thing and didn't take it seriously. So even though we seriously mean we want Trump to eat a bullet, you know, when we say it, we're just joking, and then you should give us that exact same credence that we never gave to you. I don't fucking understand how that works. I don't understand how his brain put that one together. But he gets very angry, and you can tell he's getting angry, he's getting emotional because he knows he's losing.
Is that conservatives have been turning the temperature up on the rhetoric. They have been making fun of these types of events for years, and now when something happens to them, now they're looking for sympathy from the liberal side. Absolutely not. It's insane. It's unhinged that you can conduct yourself in such a manner and expect people to feel sorry when things happen.
Why should anybody on the right listen to a word of your hectoring and lecturing about how they should behave? And by the way, for the record, the mockery of Nancy Pelosi's husband when he was attacked by an intruder with a hammer was also despicable, right? I can see despicable behavior on all sides, and I'm happy to call it out when I see it. You, however, want to present yourself as this great kind of standard bearer of decency, who sees outrageous behavior on the right time and again and is incensed by this disgusting, inhumane behavior. And yet time and again, since the attempted assassination of Donald Trump, you have displayed exactly the same kind of inhumane behavior. Fuck him about a fireman who is killed because he attends a rally of a guy he wants to vote for.
My issue with the MAGA kids is not that they are not empathetic. My issue is that they support a president that led an insurrection against the United States.
You know, and again, because Destiny really likes bringing up the all the criminal trials against Donald Trump, even though they've all been massive backfires, right? The trial in Georgia, inherent corruption since the beginning, right? And now it's at the point where it's never going to go through because not because of Donald Trump, but because the way the prosecutor chose to handle it. And I mean that story is ridiculous. But Destiny was like praising that fucking trial. The same thing with the New York trial, right? The same exact thing with the New York trial. So he'll bring up all these convictions, and I'm like, well, insurrection is an actual crime, and you've never seen anyone on your side actually charge anyone with that. But you say it over and over and over. In fact, Destiny was on X bitching and crying because Donald Trump couldn't be arbitrarily removed from ballots because they're accusing him of a crime that they've never charged him with. Fuck, man. Again, you want to bring up the alternate electors or the fake electors or anything and how you got them arrested and that proves it? Bitch, I'm sorry. Like, I know a lot of the younger people don't remember this. I was talking to someone recently about it too. Bush, Gore in 2000. Guess what they had during that election? You had alternate electors. Had we been in a more like contentious political climate, we could have seen people get arrested with the exact same accusations that were used against Donald Trump. Oh, no, we wouldn't have. Yes, you fucking would have. Yes, you would have. It's not the first time in history alternate electors have been chosen and sent. It actually is not. Now, I admit the way Trump was going about it, I think it's wrong. I think it is. I think you should use whatever legal metric you can use, and Trump was definitely pushing the fucking line on it, 100%. But who are the fucking Democrats to come to me and talk to me about how Trump is fucking with democracy by going around it like that? We had a president chosen by the Supreme Court in 2000 because of the bullshit back and forth between who was the actual winner of an election in 2000. And it was way worse. It was way worse. Oh, did they storm the Congress? No. I mean, the economy was about to fucking collapse, and people were freaking the fuck out because Gore wouldn't fucking drop it, even though he had lost. Although they claim that he didn't. It's fine. It's whatever. I don't, whatever. And the Supreme Court issued a ruling, and that ruling was what actually decided who the president was in 2000. And I don't think that has ever happened at all up until that point. That was 20 fucking years ago. So, what? If you want to charge him with an insurrection, charge him with that. If you want to remove him from ballots because you claim he did an insurrection, then you're insane and you're stupid and people should laugh and mock you. And when you whine and cry about democracy, all I'm going to say is, since I have been a kid, Democrats have literally rigged every single one of their primaries. They've rigged presidential debates, which is not illegal. It's just so undemocratic and stupid. And you support it. Like, fuck, man. Well, Biden. The only reason why Biden is currently in this race, in spite of his brain fucking failing, is because RFK Jr. decided to run. So Democrats freaked the fuck out and didn't want to have a fucking primary. The only reason why Biden is the president right now is because in 2020, they were so terrified of Bernie Sanders, they rigged their fucking primary. They keep doing it. It keeps coming out that they do this. And then you want to come to me and talk to me about the undemocratic notions of people on the right. Man, your whole system is so fucking corrupt. You will never convince anybody on the right to listen to you. And let me be as clear as I can. That 100% gives Donald Trump and whatever people come after him all the fucking leeway that they want, all the rope that they want, because when you complain about them, everybody's looking at you and going like, bitch, he was a politician for 4 years. You had the Democratic Party since like the beginning. And we can keep pointing to every single year you do something unhinged, fucking corrupt, super undemocratic. And never once is there any acknowledgement of it. Not once is there any acknowledgement of it. It's just, well, we're doing it because we know better than you do. It's kind of in that same mentality of believing that you know better than your audience, right? Democrats believing that they know better than their voters, right? Same thing with Destiny. Like, he's a fucking cuck, divorced, abandoned his kids so he can do drugs in Miami. Still gives people relationship advice. It's like, fuck.
I'm not here to tone police over their empathy.
80 million people voted for Donald Trump last time around.
That's great. 80 million people voted for a guy that tried to insurrect the government, and it looks like they might try to do it again. I mean, like, I don't know what you want me to say. These are the facts on the ground. The idea that
you don't like attacks on democracy. So presumably you would unreservedly condemn the attempted assassination of Donald Trump, because that's one of the most egregious attacks on American democracy in modern times. Presumably,
I don't think that
you will take this opportunity, given you are so determined to protect the integrity of democracy, you would find it absolutely outrageous that someone has tried to assassinate a president, right?
If the other conservatives on this show want to say that it was absolutely outrageous that Donald Trump attempted to coup the government,
I'm asking.
Actually, you know, again, because he keeps saying insurrection to the government, again, Donald Trump not charged for any of those crimes. But It 100% happened, and it's factual. They just can't charge him with it, even though they were willing to charge him with sleeping with a porn star and not doing proper paperwork. But the insurrection thing, they can't figure that one out. They can charge him with anything else, but insurrection, it's just not on the fucking cards for some reason. Talk about coup of the fucking government. Do we want to talk about like the entire beginning of Trump's presidency, the Russiagate stuff, the Mueller investigations, the literally trying to gimp his presidency the entire time? Everybody saw that. That's why the Trump people don't believe people on the left when they bring this shit up, right? They don't, because they're like, look at all of your actions. Look at everything you did. People don't seem to remember this, but before Donald Trump, right? Literally before Donald Trump even took office, there were Democrats in the House trying to impeach him on day one. Before day one. They had already worked to try and impeach him. The whole thing about denying elections. Well, Hillary Clinton was willing to step down. Yeah, and then for 4 years, continued to claim that the election was stolen from her, that the Russians cheated it for Donald Trump, and everybody in mainstream media was screaming that he was a Putin asset. Not divisive, not bad at all. That was all fair game. That was all above board. If people on the right, had any type of conspiracy theory, they're fucking evil white supremacist Nazis, something. Fuck, man. What is this? Such a little fucking weasel. Don't forget they made up a charge to impeach him. I mean, you can look at the New York trial. You can look at the trial that's in Georgia. The worst trial for Trump was the federal one. And I mean, I get that they're upset and saying that the judge in that case, she's a Trump appointee. She's doing it all for Donald Trump. This is all these fucking problems. But when I pointed to the problems with the judge in New York, I was told to shut the fuck up. Conspiracy. You're wrong. 34 convictions. Fuck you. And then the federal trial is like, no, she's a fucking lying, she's a fucking lying bitch, and we need to remove her. Like, fuck. You'd think that these fuckers could get would get some type of whiplash from going back and forth like that so fast, but they don't. Hillary's still saying the election was stolen. Meanwhile, we know Biden's agencies and big tech all lied to us routinely about Hunter's laptops 20 days before 2020 election. Yeah. And I remember Cuck Boy, right? When that was brought up, his thing, oh, they just want to show Hunter Biden's penis to everybody. Dude, yeah, his dick is all over that laptop, 100%. Him doing meth in a bathtub with prostitutes, all over that laptop, 100%. The other part of that laptop story, though, was that Joe Biden was taking 10%. Of the foreign business dealings that Hunter was involved with. That is inherent political corruption. Destiny doesn't give a shit about it. They've never had a trial over it, so it didn't actually happen. And if it did, then it would be Republicans being corrupt and evil, like when they went after Hillary Clinton for when she broke the law. There's a reason why people on the right don't believe people on the left when they do shit like this. Destiny assumes that it's because people on the right are just retarded and he knows better.
Then maybe I would. Yeah, no, I'm not going to get on my knees and beg for forgiveness or show sympathy to conservatives.
I'm not asking for that. I'm asking you to condemn what happened as an egregious attack on democracy. Can you do that?
No, I won't. No, I won't.
You can't do that. You see, so why the hell? Frankly, Destiny.
So the reason why that part matters when he says he won't condemn the attack is I've been browsing through like X and I see people crying about how people are being banned for the jokes and Destiny's being banned for jokes and everything. Destiny has made it very clear it's not a joke to him. He really wants Donald Trump to take a bullet to the fucking head. He's upset the guy missed. And he thinks that it's totally okay for people to be saying that. I mean, that's fine. I don't like his audience trying to lie to people that this was all a joke and people are just taking it the wrong way.
Absolutely not.
Why the
Absolutely
hell should we listen to
Absolutely
a
not.
word you have to say
Wait, hold
about?
on. Why do you think conservatives haven't been listening to a word that liberals have said about anything for 8 years?
Right,
what do you
but
think is
why
going to
should
change?
they?
You think
But
that if
here's my
liberals
point,
come out now
Destiny.
and they go, "Oh my God, this was so horrible,"
But here's
they're
my
going to go,
point.
"Wow, that is true."
Hey, wait a second.
should also like
Charlie, I'm
turn the
going to bring
rhetoric down a
Charlie.
little
I'll bring you in at the end of this. I promise you, and you'll get a good chance to respond. But here's my problem, Destiny, with your whole position on this. Right, is that you don't actually have anything inside you that you want the other side to have. You don't have any of the empathy. You don't have any sympathy. You don't care that someone tried to assassinate Donald Trump. You don't care that a young fireman with a family was killed in the process. You don't actually. You are not the person you want these other people to be. And all you do is play whataboutery with every question I give you. And I'm just startled.
It's not what about it. We're talking about Donald Trump. We're talking about the temperature of this country. But here's a question for the two panelists: what percentage of this?
That's another what about that Destiny is literally doing after Piers accuses him of it and he denies it. He then turns around to the other panelists and goes, "Well, what about this?" I don't like. He's so heated in this moment, he doesn't even realize what he's doing.
This event happening was due to Donald Trump's rhetoric. What do they think the answer to that question is?
What percentage could it be that the other side, as we've just heard from Dave Rubin, has spent 8 years calling Donald Trump the new Adolf Hitler, a person who was responsible for the murder of 12 million people, including 6 million Jewish people in a Holocaust? Last time I checked, Donald Trump hasn't murdered 12 million people. So much as you would like him to be the new Hitler, he's not. But again, to an impressionable, young, deranged mind who has easy access to guns, that can be easily interpreted as an existential threat, said President Biden. Somebody that needs to be put in the bullseye, said Biden.
Okay,
only last week. And guess what? Guess what? Somebody then comes forward and tries to kill the existential threat.
I mean, again, who has engaged in more divisive rhetoric? 100% people on the left, like 100%. 100%. And there's no talking to them. Even just recently, I uploaded a video to the channel, and it was a small clip from the first stream we did when we came back. And I had someone in the comments who's like really upset that that people on the right are joking about how Joe Biden's son Beau had died. And I'm like, no. People on the right keep correcting Joe Biden when he lies about how his son died. And the whiplash was immediately, well, why does that matter? They're just doing this because of this and that and that and that and this. And I'm like, so we're just going to move immediately past Joe Biden lying about how his son died and how you were all upset because Republicans were making fun of it when we weren't. Like, that's the type of shit that I see from these people. It's the type of shit we see from a lot of people on the left. And you know what? There are crazies on the right too. My problem is I can highlight high-profile people on the left consistently engaging in this rhetoric and in this behavior. They have to keep going to the fringes of the fucking right. Like fucking pulling out Nick fucking Fuentes, who literally like a month ago was trying to convince the gripers not to vote for Trump because he's really pissed off about the Israel thing. And then after Trump got shot, Fuentes went right back to sucking Trump's dick. It's pretty funny. Fuck, man. This entire political thing is annoying. It is. It's nice to talk about. It's fun to vent. Like, I don't know if I'd ever want to really debate politics with somebody, but I'll debate how people are perceiving things. Like, I'll do that. I don't know what is true and what isn't true in a lot of these situations in terms of me having to take the government's word for something. I'm not stupid enough to do that. But at the same time, I'm also not going to go like the full conspiracy side of things. I'll wait and see how things play out, but I will always go more towards the direction of how are people perceiving what is going on. How are people on the right perceiving it? How are people on the left perceiving it? How are people in the middle perceiving it? And I think people in the middle are really fucking done with both sides. But to be honest, right? Even though I'm on the right, I think people in the middle just are they're fucking done. They don't want to talk about politics. They don't like politics. They don't enjoy politics. And they probably are far more pissed off that people keep trying to shove politics down their throat. But at the exact same time, a former president someone just tried to assassinate him, and they saw the people on the left who keep claiming that they are peace and love and unity immediately start tweeting out, "How do you miss?" Like, come on, come the fuck on. No self-awareness. So, Jesus. Again, final word on Destiny. I don't want him banned on Kick, although I don't really care about Kick so much as a platform. I don't really use it myself. I don't think he should be banned there because Kick pretends to be like 100% freedom of speech. If you're going to do that, it's bullshit to ban him. I don't think Rumble would ban Destiny, but I also don't think Destiny wants to be on Rumble because of, political differences. I might be wrong. I really don't know his stance, so take that with a grain of salt, 100%. But in terms of being fully demonetized for his views, well, that's something that Destiny has encouraged for others. I have no understanding, right? Like, I have no understanding why that would be something like right now where I had to go like, oh no, this is wrong, that you can't do this, yada, 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 yada. There was one video that I did see earlier, and I hope I still have it. It's probably not because of my the whole thing with my account right now. But where is it? There's a video. Somebody had tagged Piers Morgan, and it is Destiny way before the January 6th stuff, like calling for the death of other politicians. And I do want to have that one pulled up, but I forgot that I couldn't like videos until very recently. Where is actually, while I look it up, I'm going to play the song for everybody. Give me a second here. Be about a minute and a half.
There's a man named Destiny, streaming games so endlessly. Trump derangement all the way, every hour, every day. Wife's out with other men, he's in chat again and again. Online life is such a mess, but he says it's for the best. He's a cook and he loves it. In the game though he don't fit. Massive loser in the screen, but his life ain't what it seems. Typing fury in the chat, comment wars like a diplomat. Keyboard warrior all night long, but his wife's got her own song. Oh Destiny, can't you see? Online life's your enemy, but you love it, can't deny. Living life streaming a lie. He's a cook and he loves it. In the game though he don't fit. Massive loser in the screen, but his life ain't what it seems.
All right. Here we go. Sorry about that. If you didn't see the video earlier today, I had to share it with you guys. Okay, so here's Destiny wishing death on Trump supporters before January 6th ever happened. So the insurrection clause for his malice is bullshit. Because he's a fucking liar. This is the Destiny that I remember.
I hope there's a civil war, dude. I want to see fucking Trump supporters getting fucking shot in this country because you guys are fucking crazy. Oh, could you imagine watching Nunes's eyes pop out of his fucking head when they fucking hang him on TV? Nothing would make me happier. Oh my God, I would fucking jerk off. So I would never need to browse porn again if I had a live video feed of Nunes being killed for crimes against his fucking country. Oh my God, it would be the most arousing fucking thing I could ever imagine seeing in my entire life. Holy shit. I'm squeezing my hog to this. That worthless, subhuman fucking piece of shit deserves to die for fucking treason. Holy fuck.
You genuinely do hate.
Oh, guys, this is like 2 minutes long. It's not like it's a one-time comment meant to just troll the conservative people. He will go down this road, and he did it way before the January 6th stuff. He was doing it towards the beginning of Trump's presidency, like very consistently. And whatever the Democrats said about Trump, Destiny would fucking huff their fucking farts, get riled up, and start going to his chat about fuck that guy, fuck conservatives, let's see them shot, all of this shit. That's the Destiny that I remember. Now, when the election started to happen, that's when it became more like, oh, let's condemn bad stuff. Let's not use violent rhetoric, yada, yada, yada. Oh, no, the BLM stuff is wrong. Oh, and that's when he got called a white supremacist. Now he's like banned on Twitch. It's been an interesting fucking road for this idiot. But again, the only reason why he was doing that is because he tried to position himself more towards that, less towards like the fringes parts of the internet and more towards that mainstream type of Democrat position. Because I think that the guy likes the attention. I think he wants to. I think there was a point where he really did see himself building himself up as a new political figure, which completely got destroyed when the deranged BLM people went after him. Up until that point, that was more than likely the direction he was going to be going in.
Conservatives, don't you?
Very much so. Like I've moved full on to like the political violence level or the real violence level when it comes to conservative people. Yeah, I think they need to be like excised from my fucking country. I think they are demonstrably fucking evil people by any moral system that most people would use. And then I just hate them because they tend to destroy the outcomes related to this country, which is what I'm concerned with. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a topic I'm not yet sort of ready to touch.
It was like I got off stream and all I could think of was, wait a minute.
I'm ready for the great cleansing, dude.
Cleansing?
The cleansing.
What cleansing?
When we genocide conservatives in this country.
Are you going to be out in the streets with your Glock?
Maybe. I got to go back to Nebraska and grab it.
Conservatives in the Republican Party who are entirely un-American. Fuck them. Whatever happens, happens. I don't give a fuck. At this point, my only regret is that the guy didn't spend enough time practicing first. It is insane how much conservatives get to set the fucking standard on all the.
But now, just to be clear, this one is very recent. This is after his statements on Trump being assassinated. I think it's funny to hear him talk about how conservatives get to do whatever they want, when this is how Destiny has like been like forever, right? He uses it. He tried to justify it as, well, he's only this way because the conservatives are that way. It's like, no, this is how Destiny has always been. It's how he's always fucking been. I just wish he wasn't such a fucking lying little prick about it and tried to pretend that this is only coming out because of those mean old nasty conservatives. They're just not nice enough. What a cuck.
Conversation in this country. It's absolutely insane. We're supposed to jump up and feel sad that the guy who is one of the most divisive presidents in all of history got shot at? Fucking give me a break. Please give me a fucking break.
Okay, one person is dead who isn't Trump, right? Who got shot out. Someone in the crowd that was just going to a rally who got fucking murked by this guy. And two others are in critical condition. I think it's okay to show a little empathy. Don't you?
You're right. Hold on. I'm sorry. I didn't know somebody else died. What state was this in?
Pennsylvania. My state.
Swing state voter. Fuck you. Sorry, what?
Okay. This is the problem, right? It's not the only problem we have, but it's absolutely a problem when we think it's okay to joke about people getting fucking killed because they are political opponents, right? And it's a swing state voter.
Yeah, Destiny, like, here's the thing, right? All those comments that Destiny made in the past, he went around going, oh no, these are just jokes. These are jokes. Conservatives are being all snowflakey about it. These are just jokes, right? But then he continues to talk, and it's clear he's not joking. This is legitimately how he feels, is legitimately what he wants. He's talked about re-educating conservatives like that type of stuff. You know, you put them in camps and you force them to comply. He's talked about that type of shit before. So it's been the most consistent thing with Destiny is he is like authoritarian left, like hardcore authoritarian left. He pretends he's not, or he pretended he wasn't, to try to like build himself up as like this actual influential political guy that's, you know, further away from the extremes that he had spent years building up in his audience and riling up. That's why he lost his fucking channel on Twitch, because he spent his time pandering to these fucking idiots, then went ahead and started wagging his finger in their face. And they turned on him and they started reporting him. And he had this massive backlash. He lost a chunk of his audience over it. He started to build that back up by people who are like, okay, well, you know, he's not as extreme as those other people. And I do want to hear these takes, but now he's gone full mask off again. And I don't know who he's trying to pander to now, which is why I don't think it's pandering. I just think it's lashing out because he's very angry. I would be too. Like I would be too. If I thought that everything that I had spent years of my life working towards had been snatched away because of some jackasses calling me a white supremacist, I'd probably be just as mad and pissy as Destiny is. If I continued to pretend to be this mainstream Democratic type of guy, you know, oh, I love Joe Biden, best president, yada, 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 blah, 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 blah. And then I saw that none of that works. And the guy that I like is just getting fucking brutally curb stomped. And all of these trials that I was waving in people's faces, talking about this is going to be the downfall, this is my big fucking win, and none of it's working, and it's all backfiring, and this bullshit that I tried to do, where I tried to pretend that I wasn't who I actually was, none of it's fucking worked, I'd probably be losing my fucking mind too. Uploaded something on Cody Co. I don't know anything about Cody Co. What the fuck is Cody Co? I asked earlier and nobody said anything. Cody Co. Wait. Okay, wait, hold on. There is something. There is something. Let's see. Mudahar, right? Cody Co's situation disgusting. It's time we take a look at Cody Co and some rather recent allegations that need to be properly addressed. Look recently at situations involving doctor disrespect and the weird relationships creators have with fans that cross into legally and morally questionable situations. Shouldn't have any situation. Okay. Listen, I'll be honest with you guys. I will look into the Cody Co thing. I will. I just don't want to talk about it today. I don't want to do the this guy is a groomer or he's today, not today, guys. I don't have it in me today. Okay, I don't have it in me today. I will look into it and I promise to cover it. I don't know anything about anything, and I before I cover any of those situations, I at least like to have some understanding of them. At least the people who are involved, at least what the main allegation is. And Mudahar's video is like 7 minutes old, so it'd probably be kind of shitty of me to play it on live stream. There's not too much more I want to talk to you guys about anyways. So I'll probably take a look at that video after the fact. But two really interesting things are happening right now related to DEI. And and this is kind of like more of a side thing, loosely connected, but Elon Musk is removing X and SpaceX from California, and he's taking them over to Texas, which no matter what people in California or politicians in California try to claim, That's a big hit for them. He is a large major employer in that state. The fact that they are losing those jobs is not good for California. It's not good for California's economy. It's another blow to the California governor, Gavin Newsom, whose seat is like the only governor in the state of California to ever see a population decrease. It's never happened until that idiot took power. Now you're seeing this happening, and this is because a law was passed in California that said that schools could not put policies into place that required teachers to inform parents if their child was transitioning. The school wasn't allowed to make that a policy. So even if the state, like even if every other state, even if every other county, right, like every single blue county is all in on this, but you had that one conservative county with that one conservative school that said, listen, we're not going to do this over here. They made it illegal to do that. So again, it's all public schools. Obviously private schools have their own rules, but that freaks people out. And California's like made it very clear, parents do not have a right to know what's going on with their children if it's in any way related to the LGBTQ. So this is a massive hit for California, but the hits keep coming for people on the left. And the other side of it is a story coming out of Microsoft. Microsoft has fired their entire DEI team. Now, I want to, before everyone like jumps up and down and celebrates and everything, right? Well, yeah, Austin sucks. Houston, Texas sucks. It's unfortunate. Those are still the bigger cities there, but it's good for the economy of Texas as a whole. And again, it's good to see California just get pummeled because they really deserve it. Like they do. This is the next thing though. Microsoft laid off their DEI team. They say it's no longer business critical. Now, other companies have done this. However, what they did was they took the DEI people and they folded them into different departments in which they were still encouraged to push DEI, but there was no longer like a central team that's only dedicated to doing that. I don't know if this is going to be like an immediate impact anyone's really going to feel, but I still think it's a move in the right direction. This stuff is not business critical. It seems to harm every business where it gets implemented at. So also, yeah, saying DEI got canceled by Microsoft is actually probably a pretty big win for people on the right. Still be careful, though. I don't think that this means in any way Microsoft has changed its ways. Never, ever, ever, ever is that going to happen. But I do think that this is less about trying to fold DEI into other departments and cover it up and hide it. I think it's more to do with the fact that legitimately it's not profitable for their business. And Microsoft, I don't think is willing to lose the type of money that Disney has been losing. I don't think that they are willing to go that route. I don't think that they'll be able to convince their I don't think they're able to convince their shareholders that shit like that is good for them. Obviously, it's still Silicon Valley and everything. So I'm very neutral on this news. But yeah, I mean, if you want to celebrate it, because I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. But just be careful. Be a little bit careful. There's one other thing. Let's see. Is this the one? Oh, here we go. There's John Deere. And I think there was another company also that put a more direct statement about DEI out. But John Deere was pushing DEI. John Deere is a fucking tractor company, right? For fucking farmers and shit. I have no understanding why they thought the DEI stuff was gonna matter to farmers. I really don't. Like it was the dumbest thing that I'd ever heard. And it seems like they are acknowledging that, yes, that was very dumb. But they're basically saying, we're not doing DEI. We're not hiring teams for DEI. We're not doing that. That was a mistake. all of that. So again, John Deere is a tractor company, so it's not saying it's the I'm not saying it's got anything to do with people on the left or it's more of like if you think farmers, you think more like people on the right. I'm not saying that that's always the case, and I'm probably overgeneralizing, but it's a good win. We're seeing more companies pushing back on DEI, rightfully getting criticized when they implement it. And you want to talk about things that are divisive. The DEI push has been extremely fucking divisive. So it's good to see that it's finally getting the pushback that it deserves. It should be removed. That's how I feel about it. Anyways, I'm not saying that necessarily is the way everybody does. Everybody on the right, obviously, probably doesn't feel that same way. But I say pay attention to what Microsoft is doing. It's a good win to have. The John Deere thing, I think, is a little bit more of a substantial statement about it. And yeah, I think we're seeing now a lot more people pushing back on the DEI shit. I don't think it's popular. I don't think it's working. If I had to guess, I think that you're going to see, and just to talk about the Trump stuff, because people are complaining about the DEI stuff with the Secret Service. And yeah, I think it's important to note the director is passing people who don't meet the physical requirements and seemingly have not passed like the mental competency requirements, like knowing what to do when there is a shooter around like an active crowd of people, right? Like they're failing those types of things, and they're still getting promoted into the Secret Service. That's the thing that does need to be addressed. But I'm worried that on Monday, when the director does testify, because I believe it's in Congress where she's testifying, I am very worried you're going to have dumbass politicians on the right use the buzzword of DEI and just go all in on that and not know what questions to ask. I'm actually concerned with that. Although I do think there does need to be something. We need to have an actual conversation with what she's been doing as a Secret Service director with hiring people, but we'll address that later, I guess. Finally, and I'm gonna be like 2 quick minutes talking about this. Okay, you guys see the profile. I'm a fucking weeboo. I love my anime shit, my manga. There's a series that I have not seen since I was a little kid, and I mean little kid, like fucking 10 years old, maybe I was a little bit older than that. At the library that in the place where I was at, you could actually there was a couple like manga that people had like dropped off. You could like rent them, which was cool. Like it was actually kind of cool. But the 3 that were there were like these old copies of Ranma 1/2, which is the funniest shit ever because well, anyways, so I'm like 10 years old and I have fucking Ranma 1/2 or 10, 12 maybe. But anyways, so this is a series that I haven't seen since I was a kid. I think the anime came out in like fucking 89 or something. It's crazy. But Studio Mappa is going to be bringing it back. And I think it's awesome. So this is the trailer. I'm going to cut the volume on it, play a little bit of just so you can see the animation because it looks good. The animation on here looks really fucking good. Just so I don't get in trouble. So this is a series that came out in like the freaking 80s, right? The 1980s. It's a martial artist, and essentially anytime he gets wet, he turns into a girl, which which is funny when you actually say it like that. His dad, when he gets splashed with water, turns into a panda. It's just stupid fucking comedy, but the animation looks really fucking clean. I really like it.
天道道場の茜は親同士が決めたいい名付け。勝手に決めないでよ。男なんて大嫌いよ。おめえ青いパンツ似合わねえ。いっぺん死んでこい。そしてランマにはある悩みがあって、水をかぶると女に変身しちまうんだ。俺は男だ。
So that's the anime. It's coming out in October. I know that it's not as serious for everybody, but it reminds me of my childhood. I'm not gonna lie. I'm all in on the fucking nostalgia train right now. And I think nostalgia is a powerful, 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 and very highly addictive drug. But yeah, that's where I'm at with things right now. Listen, I think with everything that's been going on, it's important to stay positive. It's important to focus on the stuff that matters to you. Uh, Take levity in the other things. All you can really do right now, honestly. But yeah, things kind of fucking crazy today. Things are crazy. Things have been crazy for the past week. I don't think that it's going to settle down anytime soon. In terms of like the tensions and everything, there's I didn't even think it was that important to even bring up, but like there's been another shooter that was just arrested outside the RNC again. So we're in a pretty bad time in terms of like the political violence. The rhetoric is not getting toned down, by the way, right? They're still all in on him being Satan McHitler, existential threat to democracy. And you got to do anything you can to take him out after he's been shot. So yeah, I think it's just going to get worse. I hope, I really do hope nothing else happens. I have no faith that will be the case. I think something else is more than likely going to happen, and yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Ranma 1/2. I love this series. It was hilarious. I love that the original manga artist writer Rumiko Takahashi is still alive, and she does multiple popular series, including Inuyasha. Wait, whoa. Oh, right. Holy shit. Yeah, it's been a while. Okay, yeah, listen. Ranma 1/2 is great. It's funny. I'm going to be watching it weekly, and I encourage you all to do that. Anyways, guys, that's it for the stream. We're gone for about an hour and a half. Honestly, I only wanted to be online for an hour today because I got some other stuff going on. But I hopefully either tomorrow or Friday, I will be here with another live stream. Well, if I'm not, if I'm here tomorrow, I will also be live on Friday. But if I'm not here tomorrow, then just look for me on Friday. Same exact time, 3:00. Looking forward to seeing you then. Anyways, guys, you take it easy. Have a good day.